Right, guys, good afternoon. I hope we are all okay. I just wanted to do a quick video actually and just sort of show you what we are dealing with at the minute on gold. It has been brutal to say the least. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously, Tuesday was the real stinker of the week. We have seen some good profits throughout today at times, but obviously, way too many reds throughout the week as well than we're used to. I think yesterday, obviously, absolutely blinding day, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't smooth sailing markets. We did catch a lot of our extended targets and obviously had a really solid pip count for yesterday. I think Monday was tricky. I think we did end up at a positive again, thanks to the opens, but the win rate this week, sorry, has not been anywhere near where it normally is. Okay, and there's a couple of reasons for that, but I just wanted to show you firstly the amount of sweeping that we are getting today is a joke. And what a sweep is, guys, just for those that don't know, it's where the banks deliberately play both sides of the market. Okay, so we've been saying, and honestly, you have a look online, everybody's basically saying the same thing. Gold is going to be shooting for all-time highs at some point. Whether that's this week, next week, the week after, nobody knows with full certainty. But I can tell you for a fact that because we are coming down with such volume, that is the banks being greedy. Okay, that is the banks gearing up for a massive push in the opposite direction. And I know it sounds a little bit weird. If the banks wanted to push the price up, why are they selling? And basically, what it is because they trade with such volume, you're talking hundreds of millions of pounds, for example. If they were to instantly buy right now, what's going to happen is the price is going to go from here to here instantly. And what that does is it fills their order throughout this level. So they might have a little bit here, but because it's pushing so quickly, there is not enough liquidity to actually get their position on. So what they do is they buy in small little increments. Okay, they might buy a couple mil here, a couple mil there, 5 mil there, and it gives us these little short-term bursts like we get here. Okay, where the price is pushed up, but then the price has hit a little high and is now coming back down. Why is it coming down? Well, it's because these banks are playing both sides of the market. Okay, and by pushing the price down deliberately, by going all in on sells, what it does is it does two things. It firstly takes their own positions negative to begin with, but it also basically stops out retail traders. So people who do not have millions in their account to obviously weather the storm with 1,000 pip drop, they get stopped out. And when they get stopped out, liquidity is then freed up, which means the banks can then push the price up at way better levels, if that makes sense. So we have been seeing liquidity sweeps all week long. I think bar yesterday, I think Tuesday in particular, we've just seen random price action. Nothing is following a pattern or a trend or even really following institutional flow. And it's actually quite interesting that banks themselves are getting swept at the minute, which is insane. Never happens. So it's the biggest players in the market right now in the world who are driving the price. Now, I wanted to show you just a couple of things before I let you go. Number one is just the sheer size of some of these candles. Okay, bearing in mind, guys, this is the 1 minute time frame. Starting here, we're at 5160 down to 5137. So that's what, 430 pips is that, or 330 pips, give or take, between there and there. We then had another big boy, which was 5133 down to 5117, so 250 pips right there. Another one, 5115 down to 5095, that's another 200 pips. The size of these candles is making it really, really difficult to actually even get in the market. We actually had two buy zones locked in, ready to send. One was here, and I think the other one was off this candle here. And again, we couldn't send it because if you look here, guys, we would have had the entry at around about 5087. Within that 1 minute, we're already up at 5105. That would have been way past TP3. So it's not to say that we haven't got setups. It's not to say that we've given up and we've stopped looking. Of course, we always are. But it's just like we can't send trades out when they're instantly going to be at TP3. Pain in the arse. But again, we're seeing a lot of just massive momentum on the downside. But what this honestly tells me is that when we come up, which we absolutely will, it is going to be with a vengeance. There are going to be massive moves to be had. Now, one other thing I want to just answer very quickly is I've had people say, "Oh, why are we not selling right now?" The reason why we're not selling, guys, is because this move is completely random. A liquidity sweep is exactly that. It's a sweep. It is not to say that it's going to continue going down and down and down and down. It could, but generally speaking, this is what banks do: is they deliberately drive it just far enough to stop people out before it reverses. So you don't want to be on the wrong end of a sell just because you can see the price dropping, because ultimately it will come back. And one last thing, guys, is if you are trading your own positions, which I know a lot of you do, please make sure you are using stop losses. I've had a few messages today saying, "Oh crap, I forgot to put my stop loss on," or I was in the car driving, I missed it. At no point, guys, should you put on a trade if it doesn't have a stop loss on, before you press buy or sell. If you're doing that, you are going to get swept yourself. You are going to get absolutely rinsed at the minute. And this is the thing, it's annoying hitting stops. Nobody likes doing it, and us least of all, but they are there to protect you. Okay, if you lose a stop 50 pips, 60 pips, whatever, it's never going to be an account buster. But if you're not trading with stops, if you've got, £1,000 or 500 quid in your account, if we see a drop like this, like we saw earlier, from 5160 down to 5080, so 800 pips in what? 7 minutes? That's your account gone. Okay, so just play safe. We will have new picks out. I'm sure we'll have hopefully at least one or two this afternoon, but obviously plenty more to come tomorrow. And worst case scenario, guys, I think the beauty of trading is that there is always another day to come. So try not to get too caught up in the day-to-day or the trade-by-trade. Every single trader in the world goes and has shit patches. We do not get them often, but I just want to be upfront and obviously just let you know, it's not that we've changed anything. It's not that the strategy's gone kaput or anything like that. It is just the pure level of manipulation that is even catching the banks out at the minute, which is insane. But nice and guys, I just wanted to reaffirm that we will be back in the blues. I have absolutely zero doubt in no time at all. But I think all-time highs are still going to be hit. And the fact that we are still coming down even today after yesterday's massive push just tells us one thing, and that's the banks are being greedy. And when it comes up, it's going to be coming up with an absolute bang. Nice one, guys. We'll see what we can do for the rest of the afternoon. And as always, we shall be back early tomorrow.